Something that really helped us when I was trying to hire that team is I created what we called an open day. So with the recruiters, we found a whole bunch of like people on LinkedIn that could be the potential role, and we invited them to an open day. And most open days that I went to, Connor, were just selling about the company and what they do. And here's your opportunity to work with us and build your career. But what I actually did was 20% of the open day was that. Why does this company exist? What's the story behind it? But then I gave them like a 101 on what is SDR life about. So I said, coming into an SDR, this is what it means to be an SDR. Here's an outbound, here's an inbound. This is typically the way that they reach out to people through prospecting, emailing. What normally happens after the first 12 months of being an SDR, and then saying, there are 4 different roles you could go in after. You could be an AE, you go into CS, you can go into marketing, you can go into product. And then I kind of gave my story of, 10, 15 years of working in tech sales and all the different jobs that I've been in. And here's the funniest thing. Our recruiter and the head of sales tried 3 months to hire, got nobody. Within that open day, I hired 7 people and all of them stayed and passed their probation. So I think, but here was the opportunity that we got the recruiter in. And at the end of the day, and love to Rose, that recruiter that I worked with, we've got a really strong relationship. She just said, I didn't know SDR did all this shit. I just thought they booked meetings. It was that preconception of what is an SDR. And I think having that bit of knowledge then helps them hire and find the right people for that role once you know what that job entails. And it was the same way with my SDRs.
Rose's opinion is probably similar to mine when I walked into that interview with Thrive. First of all, I think what the role is, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
They were like, well, I think like there's a lot more to it.
Than just booking meetings. Yeah. But I think the other side was, like the point that I made with my SDRs when I was a manager, the first week of onboarding was not learning about our product and not watching demos and not sitting with salespeople. The task was they actually had to go meet the head of every department in our company, from sales, customer success, marketing, engineering. And what I tasked them to do is every time they met with a leader to ask them what was their story, what is the department's goals, and how does that department work with sales and what's the relationship like? And it did 2 things. One, it gave a little bit of inspiration to the SDR because I was actually doing a dad thing of you could have your career there if you like the sound of that. It was giving a little bit of inspiration. But secondly, it built a relationship. Because some SDRs or salespeople come in, they just talk to salespeople and they just stay in their bubble. But, to really be successful in sales or in companies is to be able to talk into different departments and have those relationships because those people are going to help you out with deals. What is it going to be looking like once they sign the order? What does the customer success onboarding look like, right? Or with marketing, what campaigns can we do to build pipe and all of this stuff? I'm going on a rant because one of my biggest blockers are HR and sometimes recruiters when I'm trying to come in to deals with happy settings. So this is coming from a bit of a selfish point. But this has been a beautiful chapter. I've learned a hell of a lot. You've helped us share a lot of good insights and learnings for people out there. So thank you so much for coming on board.